Izzo,
In the
what's
building.
going on?
In the building.
We are back. We are back.
We are
and
back.
celebrating Combine Week.
Hey, Combine is exciting.
Very.
Man, I'm looking at the Combine right now because remember, this is our Super Bowl time for the Giants.
Yes.
The Combine is like, there's some crazy, miraculous things going on at the Combine. It is, wow.
It's insane. Some of the athleticism that's on display is like record setting. The many things, but Kenyon Sadiq and Eli Stowers, the two tight ends, are doing crazy things for tight ends. Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese doing crazy things for linebacker. Like just people doing things that position group is just not known for. Eli Stowers had a 45.5-inch vertical leap.
I can't believe that.
Five and a half.
I can't believe that.
That's like David Thompson level. That's crazy.
That is totally crazy. That is like, hey. Oh, before we go, who are we again?
Good call. Clay from Brooklyn. Football with the fellas. And who am I here with?
It's your man Mazo. It's all about Big Blue. And
Yes, sir.
We are talking about the Combine. Clay, hold on. I know we had our pre podcast episode discussion, but something just popped in my head. I just gotta
Tell me.
go script a little bit, but I gotta talk about this. I was looking at, if you guys know, episode 237 and 238, Clay from Brooklyn put out his Combine preview. You guys need to check that out. And we were talking about the draft. Remember all that? And we had Casey on, our special guest Casey, and even when we had Kenneth on. And I've been pushing, we need that receiver. We need that receiver. Well, I've been looking and I've been searching. And I'm the optimist, you're the realist.
Yes, sir.
And I'm saying, okay, let me see what he's talking about. And you know what? When I put that out there, I watched the Combine, I'm watching the Combine, and everybody's talking about him, Sonny Styles. And I'm thinking, man, if we can get a Sonny Styles in that defense.
Yes, sir.
And then, look, add a Chris Wilkinson.
Christian Wilkins.
Christian Wilkinson. We can get him. Now we've solidified 2 levels right there.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm leaning towards, okay, look, I'm going to meet you halfway. I will take the defensive guy there. I will take, and what I've seen in this Combine, the wide receiver class is a little deep. It's pretty deep. So
Yeah,
we can get a solid. I still can get my receiver. I still can get my
in the second round.
I still can get my receiver. So I'll come over to you a little bit. That's one. I want to put it out there. I'll come to your side a bit.
I hear you, and welcome. Come on over. That's exactly how I feel. That the second round is good for a wide receiver. There'll be a good wide receiver in the second round, but the people in the first round on defense, oh man,
yeah, I see that. You cannot.
Oh, man.
There's the multitude of guys out there who they fit what we need.
They fit what we need, and their tape is great.
Right.
And now the Combine just reinforces just how freakishly athletic they are. Right? I don't want somebody who can't play football and just happens to be a good athlete.
Right.
You've been there and done that. Jalen Hyatt can fly, but he's not a good football player.
He's not a football player.
Evan Neal did a 48-inch box jump when he was in Alabama. Remember when he jumped up and split his legs into the I was looking at that. I was like, is he in Alvin Ailey? But he can't play football.
We don't need
guys who are putting outstanding football on the tape and now doing crazy things at the Combine.
Look. Let me ask. I meant to ask you this question too, because I've been going back and forth. Okay, we're at 5. Is there a way that like you said too, could Styles go before we pick?
Yes,
possibly. I mean, we'll
I think that's more than possible. I think that's very possible. I think I wouldn't go so far as to say likely, but very possible that he goes before we pick.
And would you trade up for him?
No. Well, yes and no. If you mean would I give up the 5th pick to move up? No. But it's funny you should ask that. Okay. So Tennessee, my favorite trade opportunity. Yeah. Tennessee.
That's your trading partner.
That's my trading partner. Has hired Brian Dable as their offensive coordinator.
Okay. Okay.
I suspect that he's going to be advocating for a couple of former Giants. Carmen Brasillo, the offensive line coach that we've had, is also on Tennessee. So I'm pretty sure we're going to lose Jermaine Illuminor to Tennessee. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose Greg Van Roten also, because both of them came with Brasillo from the Raiders
Oh,
to the Giants. Now, Greg Van Roten is 35 years old and is from Long Island, so he's, I guess, less likely to want to move down to Tennessee, but it's not out of the question. But Jermaine Illuminor, I expect to lose him. In fact, I would be shocked if we don't lose him to Tennessee. They also have the most cap space in the NFL. So they have enough money,
right.
and they have his former offensive line coach and former head coach. I think he's gone. I think Wan'Dale Robinson is
He's
going
gone. Wandell's
to
gone.
Tennessee. I'm specifically to Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So Tennessee has bad receivers. Their receivers, and we talked about this before. They have Calvin Ridley, who's hurt all the time, and maybe he's still good, but who knows? They have Alec Ayamana, who we liked in the draft last year,
Yeah, I remember him.
but he has just finished his rookie year, which was not all that impressive, and he's probably got some potential upside, but he's not someone that you wouldn't draft over, so to speak.
Right, right.
They've got this guy Chimere Dike, who was a Pro Bowl punt returner, but not an especially good wide receiver. And that's pretty much it. That's their wide receiver room. Darius Slayton would be the best wide receiver in that team. He would be at worst the second best if Calvin Ridley gets back to being the Calvin Ridley from 3 years ago. So
I hear a trade.
Darius Slayton is someone who I could see Brian Dable saying, you know what? That young man, I worked with him. He can play. He's not Jerry Rice, but he can play. They're inside linebackers. They have two inside linebackers. One of them's name is Cody Barton. He's terrible. Cody Barton, I mean, he's not terrible, but he's not good. And he's,
That's a degree of terrible.
Yeah, he's not good. He's not as good as Bobby Okereke, is what I'm getting at. Not even close to as good as Bobby Okereke. If I'm Tennessee, now, don't get me wrong, Tennessee has the most cap space and they have the 4th overall pick. They might say, you know what? We'll just go sign all these great free agents and keep our 4th round pick. But if I'm, they also don't have an especially good tight end room. If I'm John Harbaugh, and if I think Tyler Linderbaum, and Isaiah Likely,
those are the two coming over. They're going to break.
They are likely to come over. If we
Yes.
think we have the inside track there,
Yes.
I would say to Tennessee, we can get you better at several positions. So again, I know Casey from the gym laughs at me when I talk about these things, but Darius Slayton is a good football player. He's just not a great football player. Bobby Okereke is a good football player. He's just not a great football player. Devin Singletary, good football player.
It's bringing Singletary again. I remember this.
And they have enough money to pay those people. Now, their center position is decent. Corey Levin came in after somebody got hurt. I forget the guy's name, got hurt. Is decent, but they could use help at the center position as well. So if we know we're going to sign Tyler Linderbaum, send them John Michael Schmitz too. And I would send them like all of those players and a pick this year, a day 3 pick this year and a day 3 pick next year for that 4th overall pick. Now you might say, why would they give up the 4th overall pick?
That was my question.
For a bunch of people who are not going to the Pro Bowl when the 4th overall pick guy might go to the Pro Bowl. Because again, I'm telling you, we can make you better at several positions. And I didn't say this yet, but I would be willing to throw in Paulson Adebo.
Whoa.
Because their cornerbacks aren't very good. Right? So now Paulson Adebo is, I think, a solid second best cornerback, but he's not an outstanding cornerback. Now, we happen to be thin at cornerback. So that's my least favorite part of the trade because we're thin at cornerback.
That would be desperate.
And Mansour Delane didn't test at the combine. He got measured, but he didn't test. He said he's saving it for his pro day. That makes me raise an eyebrow a little. I don't think he's hurt. So I don't know why he's not participating. Same thing with Caleb Downs. Both of them said, I'm going to save it for the pro day. I'm a little concerned about that. But Sonny Styles hit it out the park.
Right.
Out the park.
He
And,
did.
and if we could get Sonny Styles and either Caleb Downs or Mansour Delane, oh my God.
That's it there. That would be, man,
So that's
would
what I'm saying. I would load up the boat. I I really don't want to trade them, Kayvon.
I was going to ask you, would you look, and you're going to shake your head at this one. My Kayvon trade was, and I know they won't do it. I want to go down the turnpike a bit.
Uh-oh.
There's a receiver there who's not really happy in Philadelphia land. If we could take Kayvon and some picks and give it and bring AJ Brown over.
I don't see the Giants and the Eagles trading with each other at all.
That would look. So we'll just say, look, we allowed. Look, you got our Saquon, so just to even it out.
I don't see. I hear you. I hear you. I just don't see it. I don't see the Giants and the Cowboys, the Giants and the Eagles, or the Giants and the Commanders trading with each other at all. I just don't see it. Especially the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Giants, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys rivalry is pure hatred. We can't stand them.
Yeah.
And so if an Eagle fan picked up the phone and called me, I hang up. Is my house on fire? If you're calling me to tell me my house is on fire, thank you. I'll get out the house. But if it's anything other than that, fine. I ain't not talking about. But so maybe Kayvon is a better option than Paulson Adebo from our perspective, and they're not so strong. I mean, Arden Key is one of their edge rushers. He's not great. They did just pick up Jermaine Johnson from the Jets, so I'm sure they're happy with that side. But anyway, my point is, I would say to Tennessee, here's what you can't have. You can't have Andrew Thomas. You can't have Jackson Dart. You can't have Malik Neighbors. You can't have Cam Scatterbo. Pretty much anybody else in offense is negotiable. You can't have Dexter Lawrence. You can't have Brian Burns. You can't have Abdul Carter. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much everybody else is on the table. Tell me which 3 or 4 position group. If we're getting Isaiah Likely, I get them Theo Johnson, right? If we're getting Tyler Linderbaum, I get them John Michael Schmitz. And so I would give them 4 or 5 players and a day 3 pick this year and a day 3 pick next year, so you're still getting a lottery ticket, so to speak. You're not going to be without draft picks, just obviously not the 4th overall draft pick. Come raid my cabin, my cabinets. Tell me what you want, because you're not one player away, right? That one player probably doesn't drastically change your prospects. Now, they might say, neither are you, Giants, but I think we are closer to one player away than they are.
If you were them, would you take the deal you're talking about?
So here's what I would say to them. I'd say, if you think that with your $85 million of cap space, that you can sign Jalen Watson and Leo Chenal and Isaiah Likely and Tyler Linderbaum, then hang up the phone. We ain't got nothing to talk about. And you're right. You have way more money than we do. If you think those players would be willing to come play for you, you should hang up. I don't think they want to play for you. I think they'd rather play for me. So if they're not going to play for you, then let me get you better at 4 or 5 positions and give you 2 draft picks for 1 lottery ticket. Hey, the year we drafted Andrew Thomas, he went 4th. The 2nd player picked was Chase Young. The 3rd player picked was Jeffrey Okudah. Have either of them made a Pro Bowl? No, sir. No, sir. Are either of them going to the Hall of Fame? No, sir. So it's a lottery ticket, right? You don't know what's going to happen with these guys. When we had the 5th and the 7th pick, we took Kayvon Thibodeau and Evan Neal. Have either of them gone to the Pro?
They look good, but
at the time, I was thrilled at the time. So clearly, I don't know what's going to happen. And these guys that I'm offering are proven. Theo Johnson, again, is he John Mackey? Is he Mike Ditka? No. Is he Ozzie Newsome or Kellen Winslow Jr.? No. Kellen Winslow, excuse me, not Jr. No. But Is he better than their tight ends? Yes, he is, and has proven that in the NFL. So I'm saying we can make you better at 3 or 4 positions with proven commodities in exchange for a lottery ticket. Honestly, I know most people would think that they wouldn't do it. I'm not sure we should do it. Because again, it is a lottery ticket. What if Mansour Delane isn't as good as I think he is, or Caleb Downs? But I would take that shot.
Yeah, because that would be the ultimate. This would be the best draft in a while. On the defensive side, on paper,
On paper.
on
Right.
paper.
Right. If we wind up with 4, 5, and 37, I don't care what else we do and save a 6th round pick for Brett Thorson, the punter from Georgia.
Yeah, we need to.
Uh,
Yeah, we.
but but yeah, yes, if we wind up with a wide receiver at 37, there's going to be a good wide receiver on the
There's
board.
gonna be a good one left. Yeah.
And if we wind up with Sonny Styles, 2 of those 3, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and Mansour Delane would be the 3 that I would want 2 of. But honestly, Arvell Reese
It's
might
not.
wind up. Yeah, because if somebody takes Sonny Styles like second, like the Jets, for example, and if somebody takes um, Caleb Downs third, the Cardinals, then even if we have 4 and 5, those 2 might be gone. But there's still going to be 2 amazing I mean, we haven't even talked about some of the other outstanding combine results we've seen.
Right.
People who've also been very impressive. Sonny Styles' brother, Lorenzo Styles, ran a 4.27. That's flying now.
That's ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
Obviously not in the conversation for day 1 or day 2, but he is an incredible talent and athlete that is worth taking a look at. Dylan Thieneman, the safety from Oregon that I've been a little bit up and down on over the year. Remember the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, that's gonna be the guy. That's gonna be the second best safety in the draft. And then I was like, yeah, he didn't have such a great season as I thought he would. But he ran a 4.35. Like he ran a 4.35 and he had some other crazy numbers. I forget. Let me look it up real quick. Oh yeah, he had a 10.5 broad jump at a 41-inch vertical. So, like I said, he's the kind of guy that I think I called him Cooper DeJean 2.0. Um, I think that he's better than Tyler Nubin by a mile. And obviously, I'd rather have Caleb Downs. But if I don't get a Caleb Downs, if he's who I put next to Javon Holland, I feel pretty decent about that.
Well, I feel better because
I feel better.
Nubin's
Mhm.
at best he's a third level guy. He's at best.
He's a depth piece. He's a depth
Yeah,
piece.
practice squad guy. Even he's a step above a practice squad guy. Just
He's bad.
yeah,
But we kind of got sidetracked from talking about the combine. The combine itself has been crazy. There have been so many like really impressive things happening at the combine. Like I said, Kenyon Sadiq ran a 4.3940, had a 43.5-inch vertical. Crazy things. Anybody jump out at you besides the ones we just mentioned?
Oh, I was like, yeah. I mean, again, I'm thinking of like I saw the receivers, and that's what really got me was I was watching. And again, I'm looking at the top guys at first, and then I said, wait a minute, this guy. There are more. There are more players out there than what they're touting. You know,
Absolutely. Malik Muhammad is a cornerback that I've been a little up and down on. Cornerback from Texas. He ran a 4.42. Like the 4.42 is legit cornerback speed. He had a 39-inch vertical, 10 foot 10-inch broad jump. He had 1.51 10-yard split in his 40. Like this is again, the tape looked good for Malik Muhammad. He was a little disappointing in the Senior Bowl, a little bit. And now the combine is a little bit more impressive than I thought it would be. I wasn't sure he'd be quite this fast. So yeah, he's another example of somebody. Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker,
yeah, yeah.
love him, love him. And I was worried that I think I talked about him in one of my previous shows, that he might not be as athletic as we'd like him to be, but he was.
Does he
And
play? Does he play middle?
linebacker,
Wait, he plays.
middle linebacker, middle linebacker.
We can use that up the middle. It's like again,
So if
Christian
Sonny Styles is
Wilkinson.
gone,
I'm telling you, like you mentioned it too. Getting Christian Wilkinson to me is a no-brainer, and he wouldn't
Yeah,
cost a lot.
yeah. Christian Wilkins is going to be like $2 million. That's he's on a prove it deal.
Put him right next. Oh, but that's like it's perfect. I mean, put the beef in the middle, and then I mean, I go back to Sonny Styles. I'm looking at Harbaugh. He's always had that guy in the middle. He's had that
Mhm.
Ray Lewis. That's like that and a safety. Those two. He just had always had those. The guy was that guy at those positions.
Absolutely. And Jacob Rodriguez ran a 4.57, had a 38.5 inch vertical, had a 10-foot broad jump. I mean, this is a guy who had what was it? I think seven forced fumbles and four interceptions, something crazy like that. Yeah, no, you're right. And Harbaugh loves that kind of strength up the middle. In
Right up the middle.
baseball,
Yeah.
we call it, strength up the middle, right? That's what we would need, and that's what we would have.
Do you think Harbaugh might think of in the first pick, which is crazy, um, go offensive lineman?
So I certainly, if we lose Illuminor and Greg Van Roten,
Right.
that's a viable option. But now, and I put Spencer Fano, on my list of my short list, my wish list for the fifth overall pick. But you really don't want to take someone who's significantly worse of a football player just because he plays a position you need. So what I mean by that is if Sonny Styles and Spencer Fano are both on the board, I think Sonny Styles is the next Fred Warner. Like I think he's going to be one of the two or three best middle linebackers in football by year two. Maybe day one, but certainly by year two. Spencer Fano is not going to be one of the two or three best right tackles in football. Like we need a right tackle. Don't get me wrong.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I would wait for the second round and hope Max Ionaka is still there, or someone, but that's the one who's at the top of my list. Even if it means not to be able to get a wide receiver, if we gotta fix the offensive line, I'd fix it in the second round because I just don't think that either Francis Marinoa or Spencer Fano is elite. I think they're very good prospects, but they're not elite. And these guys we're talking about are elite.
Yeah.
Give me the elite defensive player. You heard me argue about the best player available
Yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
And I said, no, let's make it the best upgrade available. But
Which
this,
is a great way to look at it. When I thought about it, I was like, let me check out this episode again. If you don't know episode, I think it's 237. Check out episode 237. Football with the Fellas, all about Big Blue. You gotta check that out. It is about our greatest need, and greatest impact the player will have on the team.
right.
But after viewing that episode is what started me leaning me towards maybe he's got something about that getting a defensive player versus what I want is that receiver. There's got to be a receiver we can find though, even if we don't
Yeah.
get him taken first. There's receivers out there.
Yeah. It's a deep receiver class. I mean, it's not a deep elite receiver class, but it's a deep receiver class. Quality receivers will be there in the second round, probably in the third round. Now, we don't have a third round pick yet, but we could have a third round pick. Like, that's not off the table that we can add a third round pick. So, yeah, no, I can't see turning down a Sonny Styles or a Caleb Downs just because we need a right tackle. Unless that right tackle is going to be, a perennial Pro Bowler. And I
Right.
just don't think that guy is in this draft. So, yeah, even though I put Spencer Fano on my list, I would now be disappointed if that's who we wind up with at fifth overall. Now, if we trade down, right, if we
Yeah,
wind
I
up
get you.
trading down to like 10, so we can add that third round pick this year and maybe an additional day two pick next year, different conversation. At that point, those guys will be gone. So now, yeah, I guess Spencer Fano would be a more realistic pick at 9 or 10. But
Even we get Lindemann too.
well, Linderbaum is a center. So
It was
I very
perfect.
much want to get Linderbaum, don't get me wrong, but the problem at right tackle doesn't go away because you got Tyler Linderbaum playing center. You
Right.
know, if Illuminor is gone, and I like Marcus Bowe, but I'm not ready to hand him the keys and say, yeah, you are, you're good. You're going to be our right tackle. I'm not ready to say that so emphatically yet. Anyway, we've talked a lot about the Giants. We've talked a bit about the combine, but we're going to be back on in another day or two because there's more combine stuff happening, right?
Oh
We're
yeah, it is. It
in
is.
day three now of a 4-day combine. In fact, technically the combine's a week, but the on-field drills are for 4 days. And day 3 is happening as we speak.
That's right. That's right. I got to check it out. I definitely got to check it out.
Yes, sir. So we want to know what you think. If you're as into this combine stuff as we are, please grab that like button. Please subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. And let us know what you think about the things we've talked about and the guys we've talked about. But
hey, have you changed your mind yet? Those who follow me, do you think that you still want the receiver?
I'm not sure that I've convinced everybody, but apparently I'm starting to convince Mazo, and that makes me happy. That makes me happy. So, Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. And who am I here with?
Man, Mazo. It's all about Big Blue. Hey,
Yes,
we appreciate you. Check out the combine. Leave your comments in there. And until next time, y'all. Peace. Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.